Hello students, today I am going to discuss the third chapter of chemistry of standard 10, that is metals and non-metals. Here in this chapter we will discuss regarding metals and non-metals, its physical properties, then its chemical properties, and then we will study regarding ore, concentration of ore, metallurgy, all these things we will study. So let us begin the chapter with the topic metal and non-metal. Now we all know what is an element. Elements are made up of atoms of one kind. Now this element is broadly classified as metals, non-metals and metalloids. All of us know that most of the elements discovered are metals. Yes, there are 22 or 23 non-metals and few metalloids. Okay. In the periodic table, if you will see, S block, you have completely metals except hydrogen, and then again D block, there are metals. Okay, you have not studied periodic table, you will study, but simply I am telling, in P block you will find metal as well as non-metal and metalloids also. Okay, now let us understand what are metals. Metals are the elements which has a tendency to lose, has tendency to lose electron. Metals has tendency to lose electrons. Since metals have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell. How many electrons are there in metals? In valence shell there are 1, 2 or 3 electrons in valence shell. So metal has a strong tendency to lose these electrons. So metals are the elements which has a strong tendency to lose electron. Why they are losing these electrons? Because metals want to have their complete octet. Okay. Again you will study one more term, that metals are electropositive. Yes, since they are losing electron, they have a tendency to lose electron. So metals are known as electropositive elements. Whereas these non-metals has a tendency to gain electrons. They have a tendency to lose electron, they have a tendency to gain electrons. Why non-metals have a tendency to gain electrons? Usually non-metals have more than 4 electrons in their valence shell. So they have a tendency to gain electrons. So either they gain electrons to complete their octet, or they share their electrons to complete their octet. So what are metals? Metals are electropositive elements which has a tendency to lose electrons, whereas non-metals are electronegative elements. Electronegative, why I am using this term? Because they have a tendency to take up electrons to complete their octet. Now what are these metalloids? Metalloids have some properties of metals as well as some properties of non-metals. Metalloids generally have 4 or 5 electrons in their valence shell. Many examples are there, and arsenic, antimony, then boron is also sometimes known as metalloid, since It shows some properties of metals as well as non-metals. So, I hope you have understood what are metals and what are non-metals. You can take up some examples of metals. What are the examples of metals? Sodium, potassium, calcium, iron, all these are metals. And non-metals? Oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, ozone, helium, all these are non-metals. Okay, now you will think that metals are more important than non-metals. No, non-metals are also very important. Oxygen gas, which you need to survive, and that is a non-metal. The nitrogen gas, that is also an important gas. It is used for dilution of oxygen. That is also a non-metal. So, we will discuss this metal and non-metals in detail in this chapter. First of all, let us discuss the physical properties. Physical properties of metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. Metals have luster. Metals have shining surfaces. We all know. Gold also shines. Yes. But non-metals are usually do not have luster or non-lustrous, you can say. Do not have luster. Do not have luster. Yes, of course, there are examples of non-metals which have luster like diamond, iodine, all are lustrous. These two are lustrous. Yes, but still, generally, other non-metals are non-lustrous. So, first physical property, what I am talking, that is luster. It is metals are have lusters, but non-metals do not have lusters. Then, regarding the state of the metal, we should speak now. And non-metals, metals are usually generally solids. Generally solids. Non-metals are solids, liquids or gases. Metals are generally solids, but non-metals are what? They are solids, liquids or gases. Now you will find one or two examples where you will find that metal exists in liquid state. Yes, mercury is an example where metal exists in liquid state. So here also there is an exception, student. Exception. Mercury, I am writing the symbol of mercury. Here also I told you non-metals do not have luster, but iodine, then diamond has luster. Okay. So 2 points are discussed. It has luster. It exists generally in solid state. It do not have luster. It exists as solid, liquid or gases. Next is conductivity. Metals are generally good conductors. Good conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are generally good conductors of heat and electricity. But non-metals are bad conductors. Yes, there are certain exceptions. Mercury is poor conductor of heat and electricity. And which is the best conductor of electricity? Silver. Now your question, A question may arise in your mind that though silver is the best conductor of electricity, yes, we use copper wirings in your house or any other place for a flow of electricity. What we are using? We are using copper wire. Why we are not using silver wire? Yes, silver is very costly. So, we are using less costly metal, copper. Copper is also a good conductor of electricity, but it is less good conductor than silver. But since silver is most costly, so it is not used as electrical wiring. So we got examples of the metals which are good conductors, very good conductors of electricity. Yes, metals are generally good conductors of electricity, but silver is the best conductor. But there are exceptions. What I told, mercury, it is poor conductor of electricity. Next, again I told that non-metals are usually bad conductors of electricity. But there is graphite which is good conductor of electricity. Why graphite is good conductor of electricity? Since graphite has free electron and this movement of electron makes it good conductor of electricity. You will study the structure of graphite and diamond in detail. What are these two? Graphite and diamond. These are allotropes of carbon. But the structure of diamond is such that there is no free electron in diamond to conduct electricity. But in graphite there is a free electron, so it conducts electricity. So I have discussed 3 points last year, then state, physical state, then conductivity, it is good conductor, it is bad conductor, then density. Metals have generally high density and non-metals have low density. These has high density and they have low density. Next is sonorosity. So, metals are sonorous. You find the school bell rings. Yes, whenever your classes gets over, whenever your school gets over, then or whenever the school starts, the school bell rings. How does it sound? Sounds sonorous. So metals are sonorous. When heated, it makes sound. But non-metals are non-sonorous. Metals are sonorous. They are non-sonorous. Next is malleability. What is the meaning of malleability? Can be drawn, can be beaten into thin sheets. Yes, metals can be beaten into thin sheets. Metals are malleable. Most malleable metal? Gold is the most malleable metal. Okay? Then metals are malleable. Non-metals are generally non-malleable. Next, ductility. Metals are ductile. Non-metals are non-ductile. Metals can be drawn into thin wires, whereas non-metals cannot be drawn into thin wires. So, metals are ductile and non-metals are non-ductile. Then, melting and boiling point. Melting point is a temperature at which solid changes to liquid. And boiling point is a temperature at which liquid changes to gases. Metals have high melting and boiling point, whereas non-metals have low melting and boiling point. So, high melting and boiling point, here low melting and boiling point. Next, allotropy. What is the meaning of allotropy? The phenomenon of existence of element in more than one form. You understand the meaning of allotropy. The phenomenon of existence of element in more than one form, in which the physical properties of the element changes, but the chemical property do not change. That is known as allotropy. Metals do not have allotropes. It do not show allotropies. But non-metals usually shows allotropes. Usually non-metals have allotropes. You will see that in carbon and its compound, later you will study that carbon has allotropes in crystalline form as well as in amorphous form. In crystalline form, common allotropes of carbon are diamond, then graphite, then fullerenes, etc. And in amorphous form, it is coke, coal, etc. So, in a nutshell, you can say that metals do not exist in allotropes. Metals do not have allotropes, whereas non-metals have allotropes. So, before proceeding further into the physical properties, chemical properties of metal and non-metals, all of you please study the physical properties of metals and non-metals in detail. Okay, and you see the exceptions in your NCERT book. Okay.